One of the most important skills that any leader should master is the ability to create time and space for themselves. Time and space is that gap between reaction and intention. A lot of uh, leadership experts talk about the importance of leaders acting with intention, really acting and responding thoughtfully to every situation. Well, you can't do anything thoughtfully or with intention if you don't first allow yourself or give yourself the time and space to actually regain perspective, pick your intention, and act upon it. You need that. We all need that time and space to allow ourselves to reset. We see it in sport all the time. Timeouts. That's the whole purpose of a timeout. The whole purpose of in baseball when a batter steps out of the batter's box or a pitcher steps off the mound, they're giving themselves time and space to reset their mechanics, and come back in with intention. The absolute same is true for us as leaders. We need to give ourselves and learn the skill of giving ourselves time and space in order to lead with intention, particularly in high stakes decision making and high stakes conversation and interaction. So, for example, if you are um, if you are heading onto a job site, you're maybe a project manager, and you're heading over to a job site, and you step onto that site and you see that things are immediately, obviously in disarray. Uh, it's easy for us in that moment to simply go into reaction mode, go into autopilot, and just start reaming people out and reacting and blaming and just trying to deal with the situation. But we're dealing with it from a place of instinct, a place of reaction, and probably not putting our best foot forward. When we create time and space in that situation, we actually give ourselves the ability to respond more thoughtfully and in a way that's going to be more constructive. How would that look in that particular scenario? Well, for example, let's say you arrive at the job site. An easy way to create time and space for yourself when you show up and you see that things are not in a good place, simply say, hold up, I've forgotten something in my truck. I'll be right back. Walk back, take the 2 minutes, the 5 minutes to go and get whatever it is you forgot in the truck. Use that time to actually process what you've just seen and decide who it is you want to be in responding to this situation when you come back to that conversation. What kind of leader do you want to be? And what is the outcome you want to achieve in that moment? And when you've actually consciously taken the time to decide for yourself the response you want to have, it will be more constructive. It will not be reactive. The it will be a response informed by, at minimum, your conscious choosing of the leader you want to be. Another example would be, even in a smaller window of time and space, but equally valuable. If you're in a meeting and somebody asks you a challenging question and you're not sure instinctively what how to respond, a way to create time and space for yourself, even if it's just sort of 30 seconds to a minute, would be to first respond with a question. Can you unpack that a little bit more? You mentioned in your question something about X. Could you just say a little bit more about what you mean by that? And by putting the question back and creating that and giving the questioner the opportunity to flesh out their thinking a little bit further, you're doing them a service by allowing them to flesh out that thinking a little bit further. But B, you're creating yourself a little bit of space for you to pull your thoughts together and respond more thoughtfully and more effectively to that questioner, and therefore be more confident and more clear thinking leader in that conversation. So those are a couple of examples. There are many different kinds of examples, and they're often very simple. Need to go and just refresh my coffee. Need to go slip to the bathroom before we have this conversation. Can I call you back in 2 minutes? I'm just in the middle of something. There's a number of different ways in the flow of our day when we can inject time and space to allow ourselves to approach that next conversation, that next interaction with more intention, more constructiveness, so that we're more effective and more embodying the leader that we want to be in every situation. So think about your next conversation. What's coming down the pipe for you today or tomorrow where you have an opportunity to actually practice time and space so that you can regain perspective and choose to be the leader you want to be.